guys, welcome back. Just thought I'd finish up this little bit to May Sky, get it finished. I tried to do this earlier, but then I messed up and did stuff.
He was being a dumb one.
Anyway, August, noon. Summer was scorching the earth. They were sitting on the temple stone steps in an attempt to escape the sun's death rays. Our shadows were very distinct. Beads of sweat grew on my forehead until they slipped down by their own weight and splattered on the stone steps, forming little dots. Wow, I'm getting better at this. My reading skill. The sky beyond the eaves seemed so far away, so high up, vividly pure and blue, and cumulonimbus clouds spread out in every direction. The cries of cicadas filled the compound. An oppressive, hot, soggy blanket seemed to be suffocating us. It's so hot, isn't it? Like today. Minori, her perch next to mine, replied cheerfully and unsympathetic. She sipped on her barley tea with happiness. Even in the summer heat, she wore the traditional long-sleeve, waist-length top over her formal robes, looking looking as if it gave me a heat stroke. Yeah, just looking at it gave me a heat stroke. Now I'm starting to mess up. That'd be Minecraft you hear in the background. Wait, how's this recording? I never think to check these things before I actually start recording. So, I really don't know. She said the set of summer was about variant, but honestly, I didn't see any difference. Here you go. I took the cup as she offered it to me. The glass chilled by iced barley tea. It felt deliciously cold in my hands. I never did get that term. I fought down the urge to chug it all at once, and sipped it slowly instead. Like a true Briton, but in Japan.
True Briton from Japan. That's new.
I know, right? It's summer. She looked out at the vast spreading sky, and said this outrageously empty truism, and then took a deep sip of tea. Took a sip of tea. Wow. Deep sip of tea. Never heard of such a thing. Unless you chug it, then you. Wow. I followed her example and gazed upwards. The August sky spread out, blue, wide, and hot. I've read this already, but now I go back and record it. For a moment, a wonderful silence followed through the place. It blended with peaceful current of time and lone call of the cicadas. Alright, so tell me, are you free this weekend? She asked the question with a casual tone as if she had forgotten and just remembered without showing any hint of nervousness. I mentally went over my work schedule and replied, for the most part. Why? Well then, this weekend. She stood up before me, an impossibly wide grin on her face. From my low angle on the ground, I could see the high blue sky at her back. And then she said in a rhythmic singing voice, "Wanna go see some snow? In August? The only place that snows year-round would be the Himalayas. That's a lot of lucky blocks."
Yeah. I know my time supply.
I'll see. Sounds like it. Sound of cicadas filled the air, and then all I could see before my eyes was a wide blue summer sky. Here we were, wrapped in so much heat that trails of sweat on my head were running down into each other. Barley tea, though, was deliciously cool. I never did get that term, even earlier. Yes, it was August, a month far from the word snow.
Wow.
Minori made the statement with a lovely smile on her face. Oh, Lord. August 20th, Sunday, 2 p.m. The wind chimes sang out. Very breathing in the sky.
At least they gave me something to kill him with.
I hate Bob.
Just back him up far away.
May sky bonus scenario. August snow.
Ow. Oh, thorns.
August 26th, Saturday, 9 a.m. From the train car window I stood and I could see more greenery taking over my view of the sky.
Boom, boom.
It's been over 2 hours since we gotten aboard this 4-car train, first time ever on this line, and left our concrete and steel town far behind. You could count all the passengers on 4 cars with your hands and still have fingers to spare. Jesus. We have more in America. People use trains. Brilliant summer sunshine poured through the windows. Stark patches of shadows played on the floor. And I made an Iron Man reference with that earlier. Tony Stark. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. The air conditioning was a bit too strong in the car. The train was shaking pleasantly as it rattled over the tracks. Minori? We were close enough to be touching. Minori was in a supremely good mood. She smiled happily as she answered me. Then she had exchanged the Shrine Maiden robes for what looked like a rough hiking outfit. Thick clothes, long sleeves, probably because we were heading someplace chilly. She also had a hair clip on, which was weird because she had never worn one of those in all the time I'd known her. The clip moved slightly with the train's motion. Seems like a long ride. How much longer will it be? Excuse me. Just because I was on the train didn't mean I had any idea where we were going, because Minori was refusing to tell me.
Thank you. Give me something to kill him with. Rod of the sea, go!
Jesus.
Boom.
Her pitch had been, Her pitch just had been, it'll be great to go somewhere nice and cool. Then she added that I didn't need to wear any cold weather gear. I got a little confused since she wanted to go see snow, remember? Well, I was going to say it backwards. I stood up and looked at the map that was posted on the train doors. Or Minori did, rather. I looked too. Of all the listed stops, I recognized exactly none of them. Yeah. She checks the stations, moving a finger down the list. She went maybe 7 or 8 stops, I think. I think another 30 minutes will do it. Got it. I'm good at doing the yawning parts, being I'm actually tired. Just holding back. What can I say? I'm always sleepy. The train car was perfect for inviting drowsiness. I started to feel more and more like taking a nap.
Holy crap. I am outies.
One by one, the passengers left at stops before ours. And soon there was no one but us. It's kind of nice, actually. I stretched myself out over an entire seat to sleep. Man, you couldn't buy this kind of luxury on a rush hour commute. Yeah. Wake me up when we get there. Fine, fine. I guess I should have expected this. Minori was crossing her arms in faint annoyance. My sleepiness overcame her silent objection. I gazed from the seat. I gazed at the sky. Every so often, branches and trees flew past the window at a dizzying speed. Summer clouds were scattered above the mountain fields and the rural scenery. Oh, and you know what would make me happy? Nori suddenly blocked out the scenery, smiling with a sheer exuberance and cheer. She continued, "Sleep on my lap." Oh. What?
What's the matter with that?
Step up.
You've never laid anybody, you never laid your head in. Holy crap. And I survived. That's how many perks I have on. That is insane. Oh, wait.
Holy Jesus. The train tracks curved slightly, sunbeams pouring through the window shifted a bit from left to right. Here I was, in a pleasant drowsy state, and then a dazzling light nearly blinded me. And your next station is... Oh, Jesus. Shinjuku Senjayo Jiki. I can't say that. Someone please correct me. Please, what's your step? Oh, and for the record, our destination ended at being not 30 minutes, a whole hour after this stop. Ellipse, 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 ellipse. So many ellipses. This is actually a Japanese picture. Hey, you want to see what Japan looks like?
No.
Look.
Cool.
Just like America in certain ways. Different in others.
Oh,
Or is this an American picture?
heck no.
I don't know. We got off the train and there was greenery. Dense greenery everywhere I looked. 360 degrees around me. Breeze was cool. Sunlight was brilliant. The air all around me was refreshing and calm, unlike anything you could imagine in the forest of glass and concrete we call our town. Almost reflexively I stretched. The platform was almost completely deserted. A single vehicle parked in front of the station, amid a quiet clearing devoid of evidence of civilization. Not even a single convenience store around here. Said vehicle looked a bit vintage, kind of looking like an old couple standing by smiling gently at us. Grandpa, long time no see. Oh, boy. Oh. Trip to see the grandparents. The elderly gentleman and lady were Minori's grandparents on her mother's side. They had surprisingly uncommon last name. Kesosi? They also had apparently no surprise whatsoever about the weirdo that Minori had dragged along with her. Man, if that's what you see yourself as, Mr. Mizuguchi, I just don't know. Her grandfather, a white-haired, slim but looking quite sturdy, was slipping a cell phone into his pocket. Nice to meet you. I understand that you have been taking good care of my granddaughter. Yes. Good to meet you. I couldn't meet his eyes for a second. I really didn't want to think it was because the truth situation was that she was taking care of me, not the other way around. That's funny. That's laughable. Ellipse. Oh wow. Oh wow. Screenshot. I like that.
Anything good down there?
I sat in the back seat of their lightweight van. From there I could see, spreading out in every direction, the very picture of a royal mountain life. Rural. I thought we'd come here to see snow, so why the heck was I talking to her grandparent? Of course, the presence of the grandparents totally prevented me from asking such question. When I looked outside, I saw the most amazing, beautiful, heavy clouds scattered above the high mountain ranges. The bright, clear sunlight made me want to run out of the van and experience this place on foot. Cicadas, the song of mountain birds, soothing murmurs of a flowing river, all these sounds and more came through when I opened the window along with the breeze. Great place, isn't it? In response, I nodded automatically. What happened here? Ellipse. That's definitely in Japan. Sorry for the vocal crack. Not my fault.
What didn't happen?
The Kesosi estate was huge and grand. The gardens and orchards seemed to be so expensive it was ridiculous. And there was a large blue picnic blanket set up in the center of the garden. Minori's grandparents were arraying what looked like enough gear to fight a war on top of it. I just sat there on the porch completely dumbfounded by this turn of events. Next to us, they had kindly set out slices of watermelon and salt for the fruit and glasses of barley tea. It was the perfect picture, classic Japanese summer scene. Minori happily started on the slice of watermelon. Watching her, I felt a twinge of familiarity, almost as if this were the scene back at the shrine. In the middle of the sheet were a small cooking burner, a bundle of cloth, and poles, and I figured out that was a tent, some cookware, a pot, and a lantern, and so forth. Minori's grandparents started packing those things away into a huge backpack with ease, so practiced that it looked like she could do it blindfolded with one hand tied behind her back. Probably so. Minori, what is Miss KCO doing? Minori grabbed another big slice of watermelon, dumped it in a whole bunch of salt on it. This, by the way, her eighth helping. Oh, Jesus. What do you mean? She's making preparations, obviously. For what? What for? Going to see the snow, of course. Hike up a mountain. She said all of this calmly and playfully, with a big derisition as if she had just told me you can make a rice ball without rice. Then she'd proceeded to happily devour the watermelon, slice 8. I had no freaking idea what she was talking about. I could imagine as I looked up at the equipment was a death march going to a frozen tundra choked with snow. And how in the world could you do something like that in the middle of summer? Simple, up the mountain. Are we going hiking up a snowy mountain? In that case, we should get some cold weather gear. We'll walk a little, but don't worry. Okay? It's nothing hardcore. So hardcore. Fine, nothing so hardcore. Fine. But how come preparations were so hardcore then? I was wondering that myself. It'll be fine. This stuff is just for a picnic, okay? Her words were small, light as a feather. But that backpack, on the other hand, it looked ginormous and heavy. Is it one of those pullable backpacks? The watermelon was cool, sweet, and delicious. I enjoyed the taste of the fruit, as I was also feeling a little uneasy about all this in front of us. The back of the house faced a mountain range. The calls of the mountain birds reverberated deep within space between the hills where I stood. Watermelon in hand, I looked up at the summer sky. Fluffy white cumulus clouds swarm slowly past the dazzling sun in the blue-white ocean of air. Watermelon crunch as I bit into it. The piece was very sweet, and also way, way, way over salted. Ellipse. Udos Mountain Range. Trail entrance 4.5 km to peak. I peered at the sign I got as I got out of the van. The parking lot, apparently used for hikers, was neat little space tucked away in a cliff top. The view here was magnificent. What looked like the starting point of a trail was huge. Logs seemed to prevent the soil from eroding. It had effect now seeming like a staircase, inviting you to go up and have a hike. Under the shade of the trees was a cool breeze. It felt wonderful, and the call of the cicadas was invigorating to hear. There we go. Okay, shall we get a move on? Minoru asked while shouldering a smallish backpack, and then grandfather Keosa pulled out the huge backpack they had prepared for us. Oh, good lord. I'm about that. I don't think I really have any idea what's going on here. Still clueless. Grandfather Keosa gave me this doubtful look. Yep, I had absolutely no clue what was happening here. Alright. Oh, Honori, haven't you explained to Haraki here yet? Nope. I thought it'd be more interesting if he doesn't know. Yes, interesting. Interesting indeed. Pretty brave of you, Haruki, I mean. Agreeing to come all this way out here without any information. And grandfather Kesoe, Kesosi, along with Minori, hooped loudly at the idea of the question. The question marks in my brain from earlier were now multiplying and flooding my head. Minori, mind if I tell him then? You should prepare your man for what's to come, oughtn't you? Alright then, as long as you don't tell him about the snow. Well, she just kind of said about the snow. I'll cut it here and see